What's up, guys? Jack and Jalen here, back with J&J Reviews. It's the end of summer, so here with our second annual Top 5 Movies of the Summer 2015. 2015 was a very up and down summer. I think you'd agree we had some very high highs and some very low lows.
Yeah, not really much in between, or
Yeah, you either loved something or you just forgot about it.
lots of disappointments, but lots of surprising and good movies as well. But yeah, I think it was overall a decent summer when it came to movies. Some that could be timeless and some that might not, but
Some you'll forget tomorrow.
yeah, but regardless, it was a good summer of movies, and I think we found at least 5 of them enjoyable, and that's what this list is going to be complied of. So I guess why not begin? We'll start with some honorable mentions just to kind of lay out a few that didn't quite make the list, but we definitely still enjoyed. If we had more than 5 spots, we would probably add these movies. So I'm going to go ahead and just list the two that I have just to say. First one, even though it didn't do terrific in the scores, Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, was Southpaw. I think that was a good movie that, regardless of really, what it was, the cliched boxing movie, I think it was a pretty darn solid one at that. I think it was engaging, the story was good, it was a good coming from the bottom and going back up. Jake Gyllenhaal was terrific as his character. You had Forrest Whitaker, a great movie overall, I think. Definitely surprised me. I wasn't expecting much going in. And my other movie that I had on the honorable mention list would probably be Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man was one of those movies that I appreciated because it was something different. It was a whole new type of Marvel movie. It wasn't that, your typical Avengers movie that we're seeing nowadays, which isn't bad, but something new is always nice to see. I think Ant-Man really did that. Paul Rudd was terrific as Ant-Man. He was funny. And as a hero, he surprised me. I think he was actually pretty good in that role. Only weak part in that was the villain, in my opinion. But overall, Ant-Man was solid, and it exceeded my expectations going in.
Yeah, our honorable mentions are actually very spot on. I have 3 instead too, but Southpaw and Ant-Man are also my honorable mentions. Again, Southpaw, it was cliched, we've seen it before, but the performances and the cast really made that movie, for me, a good experience. It wasn't great, but I had fun with it for what it was. Same with Ant-Man. It was a nice small-scale Marvel movie. It wasn't Age of Ultron or Avengers, big and grand. It was a smaller story, a heist, so that was fun to watch. My other honorable mention, which I really wanted to get this in, Inside Out. I just couldn't get into my top 5, but it was a really good Pixar movie. I don't think it's the masterpiece of Pixar that everyone's making it out to be. I thought it was a really good and fun journey with a very good message. So overall, those are my honorable mentions. Let's get going.
Very nice. All right, so we'll go 5 to up like we did last time. Number 5 for me was a movie that surprised me because typically the person in this movie doesn't make very good, hasn't made great movies in the past as of late. But she really surprised me. Melissa McCarthy in Spy. Spy was one of those movies that, again, going in, it looked really stupid as a typical Melissa McCarthy movie was.
I skipped it because of her.
But when yes, exactly. But when you go in, you saw the reviews. It's getting much better reviews than a lot of people think, and there's a reason why. The connection between McCarthy and Jason Statham's character is actually pretty darn solid. It's actually pretty darn funny. And as a spy movie, it actually wasn't that bad. It actually really surprised me. And when I think of summer, I think of something like this, something that's fun for me to go in the theater and enjoy. I think this was exactly that type of movie. It's really similar to The Heat, which actually was decent again. It surprised me and exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, I might have to watch it. For some reason, Melissa McCarthy just turns me the wrong way. But
give it a shot. It's actually not that
Jason
bad.
Statham's in it. It looks like it could be a fun time. I'll definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm.
My number 5, again, we never got to review this movie. It was early in the summer. I was surprised that it dropped to this low at the end because I loved it at the time. It's Avengers: Age of Ultron. A lot of people are this movie's been downed on and bagged for not being as good and being too convoluted. I just thought it's a summer movie. I had a great time. There was all the Avengers in it. It was just a good, fun summer movie. That's what I looked at it as, not something grand or dark. It was just a fun time at the theater, and overall I didn't enjoy it quite as much as the others, but it was still a great movie.
All right, yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because my number 4 is Avengers: Age of Ultron. Avengers: Age of Ultron, like you said, it was a good movie. It was a little convoluted. They're getting to the point where there is a lot of Avengers. It's hard to kind of get all that together, and it's kind of getting to the point where it's sort of getting a little bit predictable. The villains are decent, but they're not great. But I gotta say, it's still an enjoyable time. You go to the theater and you see all those superheroes bashing around on the screen. Can't wait for Captain America: Civil War because of this. It's a fun experience. Will it get old? It's starting to, but I think at the same time it's still enjoyable, and that's why I have Avengers: Age of Ultron at number 4.
Yep. All right, for my number 4, I just saw this one was in late July. The other movies in this franchise have really just upped the ante, each and every one, and this one was no different. Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. Tom Cruise is back. He solidified himself with Edge of Tomorrow, and now this back-to-back that he is the action star we all remembered him as. He's killing it at the box office with this one. This is just such a fun movie, and it's got a great plot. It's not convoluted. You can follow it. It's got all the twists and turns and the hallmarks to the other Mission Impossible movies. It's just every scene it starts off with the big scene. You're like, oh, they can't top that. And then they do it with every other action set piece. I thought was great. Overall, this was a really, really good movie. Probably the best Mission Impossible movie to date.
Very nice. Number 3. Number 3 was a movie that you had in your honorable mention, Inside Out. Inside Out, I just thought this movie was pretty darn good. That's one that just exceeded my expectations. That's kind of what this list is all about. Because a lot of movies surprised me. And this one was one of them. I didn't really think it was going to be that good when I saw the previews and stuff. But wow, going to this movie, it was actually pretty darn solid. Although it wasn't my favorite Pixar movie, as you noted, it definitely provided a fun experience. It was good for both the kids and the adults. And yeah, it provided a good time, lots of good characters, memorable ones that will appeal to the kids. And like I say, a terrific overall animated movie that we've seen in a while. Yeah, we'll see if this is good on most people's Pixar list, but I gotta say, not my favorite, but definitely earned the 3rd spot here in summer 2015.
Yeah, the movie's topping a lot of lists for the summer, and I can understand why. It's a great, fun family movie, great message. I just didn't think it held up as well as some of the other Pixar films, but it was still a great movie. Good pick. All right, for my number 3, my next 2 are probably movies that nobody else saw. My number 3 is Slow West. Michael Fassbender, Cody Smith-McPhee. It's a callback to Westerns, but with a new modern twist on it. It's just it's like an adventure movie. There's little dialogue in it that you just act out through their emotions and how they're acting physically. Great shootout at the end. It's just overall, it leaves you thinking, even though you wouldn't think it had many thought-provoking themes. Overall, it's just really a movie I've watched multiple times, and I've got more out of it every time, so I highly recommend you guys check out Slow West.
Awesome. All right, so we got our number 2 before we get into the big one. And number 2 for me, Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation. I think this movie was great. I really enjoyed Ghost Protocol when it came out. I'm starting to like that these Mission Impossible movies are getting better as they keep going. And Tom Cruise is getting better as he ages. It's insane. Still terrific, great stunts in this movie. And a pretty darn good cast. You think with these extra good actors involved, it might be a little distracting, but no. I mean, guys like Simon Pegg and Jeremy Renner, they did fine. And Tom Cruise, though, just complete knocks it out of the park. It's one of those summer blockbuster movies you're looking for, the ones that are over the top, awesome action. You walk to that movie and you just wow. I mean, it's that good. And yeah, definitely probably one of my more favorite action movies, really almost all time. I think it was just a lot of fun, and just a perfect summer movie.
Yeah, those Mission Impossible movies, they just keep getting better. Ghost Protocol, once that Dubai Tower scene hit, I feel like it kind of tailed off. This movie did the exact opposite. They hit you with the big scene, and they kept upping it from there. It's a great movie. My number 2, again, no one probably saw this, The End of the Tour, Jesse Eisenberg, Jason Segel. Great movie, follows the life of author David Foster Wallace, and just a little 3-day interview that David Lipsky, Jesse Eisenberg's character, went with him. It's just I love movies with a strong script that carries it with there's literally no action in this movie, nothing you could say really happens, but the script is so engrossing, leaves you thinking. Just great performances by those two. I expect some nods to Jason Segel for his acting in this. He really transforms from comedy to drama really well. Overall, just a really, really well done movie. Any other year, this would be my number one easily of the year so far, but I think we can agree on what our number one movie of the summer is.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be this movie.
Even if you don't think it's perfect story-wise and everything, once you see this movie, it just changes action movies altogether.
Jurassic World.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Just a fantastic look at the art. No.
No, it's got to be Mad Max. Mad Max, I actually just recently saw this one, and wow, didn't I miss out? I mean, it's one of the movies where I saw the first 5 or 10 minutes of this movie, and I was just like, what am I watching? This looks so stupid. But once I ended up getting into it, and it was engaging, it was fun, it was over the top, it was just insane. Yeah, I mean, and the originality of this movie was really what got me. The practical effects, everything was just, you knew going in, well, you didn't know going in, but when you saw it, it was one of those movies where you just felt like, wow, I mean, the people really took the time to make this movie real hard, and that's the kind of movies I like, and this one just went over the top, but it was just complete awesome. You're really a really cliche summer blockbuster. It was amazing.
Yeah, I also recently watched this for the 5th time. If you couldn't tell by the last video we put up, I absolutely love this movie. It shows what a summer blockbuster should be. People are putting effort in. I watched the behind the scenes. All those stunts are practical with as little CGI as they possibly could. People are actually flipping cars and blowing stuff up on the set. It's just so refreshing, and like it pumps you full of energy because these are real stunts. They're happening all around you. It's one big chase. People that try to bog on it for the story, I don't really care about the story because I just want to be entertained for 2 hours, and I was. Just this really changes action movies because now, like you joked about Jurassic World, that movie is so just CGI'd, and like I don't care about 2 CGI dinosaurs fighting each other. I care about real cars crashing and flipping and real characters. The characters are really strong in this movie. I don't think enough people give them credit for Furiosa.
Yeah, definitely.
And Max. They have great chemistry, and their characters, although again there's little dialogue, just the way they act around each other, you can tell they have a bond.
Well, yeah, that's actually the part that shocked me, because a lot of people do say it's a terrible story. You know, you get the kind of beginning, kind of set up a little bit, but then, you know, they just kind of, it's this long Fury Road, as it's said, but really, yeah, the chemistry between Furiosa and Mad Max in the movie were pretty darn solid, actually. I felt like...
Charlize Theron really was phenomenal. She stole most of the scenes she had in this movie. I was really surprised by her.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it's an interesting movie, you know, the relationship that they, you know, end up getting, you know, it's kind of off and on for most of the movie, and that's what kind of provides the interest. You know, you want to know, you know, are these 2 characters with or without each other, and, you know, they have to, you know, go through this big giant road battle with each other or with the other guys, and it's interesting.
Yeah, overall, just a phenomenal movie, just what you want from a summer blockbuster. It's real, it feels real. The performances, although they don't really do much performance-wise, they're still phenomenal, and just the physical stuff they had to go through for this movie. So overall, Mad Max Fury Road won summer 2015. Overall, 2015 is a summer. I'd say it was pretty successful, although we did have some down points. I'd say overall it lived up to what 2014 did for us last year. I think my top 5 there, I think I could stack them up pretty evenly.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, yeah, you're 100% right on that. And, you know, what can I say? I got to give my Tom Hardy grunt. That's mine. But, yeah, I mean, it was an awesome summer.
It was a great summer, so thank you guys for watching this. Now we're getting into fall. We're getting into award season. We're going to have hopefully some award-winning movies and some performances coming up, so look out for those. And then there's this little movie in December that I'm kind of looking forward to. I don't know if it's called Star
Wars. Something like
Star Wars.
The Ground Awakens or something like that. I don't know. It's interesting.
It kind of looks silly, but you know, I think I'll have a good time.
Yeah.
But okay, we're really looking forward to that movie. We're looking forward to all of fall. I expect some big things from fall. Mm-hmm. So overall, again, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for all those J&J reviews.
Sign out.